This is my first recording since I've been married. My new name is Jamie Jones. Obviously, people know I'm a family and a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I kind of just have been feeling led to do something, some sort of recordings, or I don't even know. So I'm just going to first and foremost say I have no clue what I'm doing. And if you want to avoid listening to a little bit of confusion or chaos, feel free to sign off now. But just to give you a little bit of an idea of what my thought process is here, is I've always had some sort of visions or thoughts that I was going to do some sort of teaching publicly ever since I was a kid. I don't know why I would have those thoughts, because I feel like I'm more of a I love the interactions between people, but I don't necessarily do good standing in front of a bunch of people talking without that interaction. And so I spent probably the last year and a half, almost 2 years, going to a group called the National Speaking Association. I actually got connected with them because I went to a Chamber of Commerce event that was in St. Michael, Minnesota, and met Kendra Campa, Sindra Campa. And I'd actually just talked to her. I went because she works in the field of psychology and actually works in sports psychology with the Minnesota Vikings. And I literally went to the event to be able to see her speak, because I thought, well, hey, if I work in the psychology field, if I kind of just listen to see what she does, maybe that will give me some direction on what I want to do next. And oddly enough, they had a little drawing at the end of the event, and I won her books. And I ended up walking up to her and talking to her and just said, "This is so crazy. I came here to see you, and I happened to win your books. There were a lot of other people that could have got it, or their other drawings, it could have got someone else's book." So it just seemed interesting. And I remember when I went home, before that, I told her about what I had just mentioned, just maybe me somehow having visions as a kid, speaking in front of groups. And she goes, "You need to check out NSA." And I'm like, "What is NSA?" So she says it's the National Speaking Association. And they said they have a speaking academy where you can go and learn the business of speaking. And long story short, I did end up going to that. And I absolutely love that group. I still have nothing to do with speaking, which is just fine by me. I feel like even if it was just the people that I met that I get to enjoy, I'm perfectly happy with that. But also going through the whole year-long process of the speaking academy, I feel like if I do get into speaking, I do understand the business of it now, and have a bunch of mentors that I could reach out to if I have questions or whatever. So it was good. But I remember when I went home that night, I had thought, I wish I would have asked her to sign one of these books. And then when I got home, I opened up one of the books, and sure enough, Sindra had already signed it. I was like, how weird, that I just thought something and it had already happened. And I just started noticing a lot of things in my life happening that way. And whether, I would say most people would say that's just a coincidence, or most people are going to autograph a book, you can go ahead and do that. But I feel like for me, the more I started appreciating the coincidences in life and thanking God for it, which is what I do, or whether you're just thanking the universe or whatever, it started happening more and more and more frequently. And it just, to me, is mind blowing. So one of the most mind blowing things is now the fact that I'm married to Nathan. And I'll spare the details of all of that and the different things that I had been hoping for, that all ended up being wrapped up in a person who couldn't have been more perfect than me for me. More perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm obviously very nervous. I have no clue what I'm doing. But I'm feeling led to do something. And this is just how it's going to start. So through the National Speaking Association, I also met, like I said, a lot of really good people. One of those people is Nimka Reese. She was on my first podcast. And earlier this year, she did something called I think it was like the 77-day challenge. And what she did is she just wanted to get better at impromptu speaking. And she went on and filmed something for about 5 minutes every day and just talked about something that excited her. So Nimka inspired me. I don't know that I'm going to go 77 days or that it will be 77 days in a row, but I want to do at least 30 days of filming some thoughts, some exciting things that happen, or maybe potential mental health tips or tricks that I use or recommend to my patients that might be helpful for other people. So that's kind of my thought process with all of this. But yeah, I think the first thing that came to my mind today was last night, Nathan and I had to go to the emergency room because he was playing soccer and went for a ball. And I don't know if he was trying to hit it with his head or whatever, but as he came down, he bumped into someone's shoulder that was also going for the ball, and it hit his chin and he bit his tongue. And so that was quite the adventure to go in and figure out if he needed sutures, which he did. We went to the Woodwinds emergency room in Woodbury and were able to get in super quick. And they sutured him up and they did a really good job. And it just kind of made me think about things that I'm grateful for. Like, I've been practicing through my own private practice for the last 4 years now. And when I was in the hospital, I was just like thinking, oh my gosh, I am so glad I'm able to do the things that I do now, because when I was working in the hospital, that was not a good fit at all. And I'm super grateful for the people who do provide those services. But just for me, I realized I want to spend my time doing the things that I'm good at and that I don't hate and that I don't. And it was crazy because they had to like inject him with not Novocaine, lidocaine in his tongue. And here I am, Miss Nurse Practitioner, hiding in the corner, like blocking the vision and just kind of like feeling queasy and sick to my stomach. And I'm like, this is why I didn't do well in the hospital. Like I'm not sure what I was thinking when I was going to school to be a nurse, but ultimately psychology and mental health is my thing, just not the physical health. So how I made it through my RN stuff and my family nurse practitioner stuff is beyond me, because I get very queasy and dizzy just from simple things. But I think a needle in the tongue is not simple. So that was quite adventurous. But anyways, my whole point being that I thought about being grateful about things. And I feel like the day in and day out of our jobs can get to the point where we lose, I don't know, the excitement, or we don't necessarily remember how awesome we have it until we kind of are reminded. And so yesterday was like a reminder to me that I want to be extremely, extremely, extremely grateful, like that I have my private practice, that I get to set my own schedule, that I'm no longer doing physical health, and that I get to work with people that I just doing the type of work that I love. Yeah. So it kind of helped me to like reset my thought process today and just feel grateful for the risk that I took to be able to set that up and all that jazz. So, anyways, have a good rest of your day, and I will be checking in here soon. I do have another idea for a video. I want to kind of go through some of the unexpected things that I loved about my wedding and talk about how exciting that was, because there were a lot of things that I would have never expected happen that were probably some of my favorite parts of it. So, anyways, Miss Jones signing off. Have a good day. Bye.